All good, guys. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay, I
Yeah.
think good. I think good. Just make sure I don't have too much chest hair. It's not that type of show.
Looking good.
Yeah,
Looking
get a button up there.
I'll do that for free. Let's see. Sick. Okay, it's live. I'm just retweeting it, sending the army.
Yes, Dom, we are live. We are live.
Nope. Okay, I'm good on my side. We're streamed up.
All right, we are. Yeah, keep in mind we are live as well. So the chest hair will get clipped.
Let's get through this here.
Yeah.
So when can I get access? What's the word? Is it going to go live on the stream?
So you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Hold up. I think Rocco said he joined, but maybe he's in the waiting room. Or Chris.
Yeah. Oh, I got Krish. Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Good to bring Krish up. And guys, keep in mind we are also live on X too right now. So just want to make sure we're good with that.
Hey, Chris.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hey. I think we're all super excited for the launch, but I think there's just a couple more people sort of coming on. Then we kind of go from there.
Yep. I got Yash up, and I think at this moment we are also at our max on Restream. We can only have 10 guests, so if people need to like cycle through, we're gonna have to do that. Just so we're clear.
Okay, sure. Okay, yeah. Well, hey, thanks to all you guys coming up, and this whole new product of PolyCule has been in the works for a while, and I'm gonna let Chris like sort of walk you guys through it and what's launching in real time. But it really came down to them deeply understanding the prediction market space and the information that was collected from, let's call it the V1 of the product, really gave the data on like, hey, this can be done so much better in terms of just distribution, liquidity. And it's really going to highlight like what an amazing builder, PolyCule Chris really is. And I'm just going to hand it over and to talk through it. And, Chris, if you want Josh to sort of screen share the website, go for it. It's all yours.
Yeah, yeah, I guess like we're going live like very soon. But I mean just a sneak preview to everyone here in the stream. We've been teasing this for months. Basically everyone talks about, oh, why aren't prediction markets as easy as pump fund? The answer is it was really an infrastructure problem. No one could really do it correctly. So we were just super heads down last few months, and worked with just early teas like Meteora. Obviously that's sort of why Katie is very in on it. But yeah, I mean this is I haven't formally announced it yet, so I guess everyone on the stream gets a sneak preview. But yeah, like you can launch markets, trade markets, and then every market you launch, you get fees from. So if you want to make a lot of money very quickly, I would recommend just launching a bunch of markets, because you get if you deploy all the capital, you can get like 1% of all of the fees. So if you're doing like 100, like if you get to launch like a politics market and it does like 100 million in revenue, or sorry, in volume, you're gonna make like an easy like $1 million off of that. So yeah, I mean, would love to
Should I launch a
chat more
market?
about it. But sorry, what were you gonna say?
Should I launch a market right now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we haven't formally launched it yet, so I guess like it might not fully be live. We're waiting in the next like hour or two. I think Kitty sort of put us on the spot, but
Okay, if I jump in.
So like there's cool two pieces around this. And Chris, just jump in. So anyone can create a market, and there's gonna be two rewards around it. The creator itself gets some fees, and it once you launch a market, it creates a pre-sale where people can send USDC, and that's going to seed the liquidity. When a market is resolved, and it's going to be like a DeFi play for people. When a market is resolved, the people who seeded their liquidity get their capital back, and if it's a highly traded market, like they'll earn a pro rata portion of the LP fees. Saying pro rata because it depends on what your contribution to that LP pre-sale is. Um, the really cool thing about this is each market, when you buy yes or no, and you can go ahead and buy this right now. I believe, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, because I did buy some like right when the stream went live. Um, it's going to be a CA. You can trade it anywhere where you trade Solana. Um, there's going to be a CA for yes and CA for no.
So I just clicked on the link at the bottom there. It says trade on Jupiter, trade on Axiom, etc. Just walk me through like what this opens exactly, like what this.
So yeah,
market
like if you ever use a poly market, you can basically trade the yes and no. But that's like an order book, right? So this is an AMM. So basically, like if you're the same way you just trench meme coins on Axiom or Jupiter, you can just open up these like prediction market contracts in Jupiter or Axiom or wherever, and just trade them. So right now, the price is proportional to the odds. So it's right now it's the odds are 52%. So if you think it's gonna be like if you think flywheel soon, then I would ape in right now actually, yeah.
We allowed to jump in with questions. Mic check. Mic check.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think
Was I muted or
Cool.
hello?
I guess I'll just jump in. I think like for me, one thing I've always like kind of kept me away from like prediction markets is maybe like the actual market itself like wasn't like my area of knowledge, right? I think I've been saying this in like all the different ICM chats. I just always wish that there was like more like private markets for us to like trade on these types of things. There's been like ongoing memes and like group chats that I'm in, like especially around flywheels, obviously a big common one. And I guess for like everybody that's like not super ICM pilled and not like deep in the Believe app ecosystem, Believe app is a protocol built on top of Solana that lets teams tokenize startups on chain. And the concept around a flywheel, for anybody that's just tuning in that's not familiar with this, is that currently among the ICM projects and other tokenized assets on chain, people want to see a model for Launchpad specifically to create value for the main Launchpad coin. In this case, would be Launch Coin, right? Particularly around Believe app, right? So in this case, in this particular private market, for anybody that's just tuning in right now and not familiar with all of this, Ben Pasternak, the founder of Launchcoin, again, that protocol mentioned earlier, Believe app specifically, has been teasing that there will be a flywheel for the native launch coin for Believe app. And the current private market that we're looking at right now is the private market for yes or no on that particular coin. The thing that's really interesting about this, though, that makes this particular product very unique is that one, it utilizes Meteor's fee distribution model to create value for the people creating the market. And the reason why that's really, really important is historically speaking, when it comes to prediction markets or these other types of products, there really is not like a third party value driver for anybody that has these unique ideas, right? So think about it like myself, right? If I wanted to open a stream or a prediction right now that MCG will be the number one ICM stream in the market by the end of the month or next month, whatever we'd have, right? You could max bid yes, because that'd be smart, or you can max bid no, right? And you can also kind of set like what are the settling terms. Now, the cool thing about that, if I create that presale, and I guess this leads to my first question I'd ask for Chris is, how much of that presale can I purchase before the presale goes live to other people? How do people find that presale specifically? Would you suggest people share it privately in the group chats they're in, or can people discover it on PMX?
Yeah, so you can. The answer is all of the above. You can launch the pre-sale. You can buy up the whole supply if you want, and then start shilling it. And then, but obviously, if you don't have the liquidity, you can buy part of it, share it with your friends.
And this
and,
isn't
you know,
like bundling it right, because typically when you do a pre-sale and you buy up all of it, you own all the supply of like a yes or a no. But in this case, you'd actually be buying up the supply of the liquidity pool
exactly,
specifically,
yeah, you're
which
you're buying like rights to the future fees of it, right? And so, but obviously,
yes.
I would recommend actually not buying the whole supply and getting obviously your friends to buy some of the supplies, so that way, you guys could all like chill the market together, and then all get like shared upside on like, oh, if this market blows up, then, we basically get a bunch of creator fees, yeah.
And the cool thing about that too is that it doesn't matter if it blows up for yes or no. It only matters if people care to vote yes or no, right? That's one thing that's really, really unique, right? Because currently, the way that most of these markets work, if you want to launch a market, right? If you were like to, in theory, how most people would think of this would be like, okay, I launch a market and then I bundle up the one I think is going to win, right? And that would be like this, like attack vector, right? That like most people would abuse. You guys circumvent that specifically by allowing users to not have to play the game of yes or no, but actually just optimize for more people to play the game, right? Which I think in one of the rare instances why I really like what you guys are doing is you create this like win-win-win angle here. You have a win for the people who are knowledgeable about the market enough to create the market, right? But you also have the win of the people who want to vote yes or no if they have like an angle for that specifically, which I think is like really important to scale prediction markets to like this very niche little category, right? Like this very niche category. And I guess these private prediction markets could be as big as, 50 to 100K worth of volume, and as little as that, right, to all the way up to like tens of millions of dollars worth of value, right? And I think that's like a really interesting component. Do the people who create the pre-sale, Chris, do they have the ability to like instantly get into the yes or the no on that?
Once it goes live, I mean, you can snipe up a supply of yes. I think that's like, obviously, like a lot of things in crypto, being early is like super super rewarded. So if you create the market and then you have like a good view on what the probability should be, you'll make a lot of money. Um, but then obviously, like, the crazy thing about prediction markets is, odds change a lot, right? So it's like, you might you might have a good view on where it is now, but then like the market could totally change. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think actually I don't want to take all the questions. You answered some of mine. I saw Quant ask a question. I'll hand it back to the host.
Yeah, there's one question. Could you explain how this solves the liquidity problem in prediction markets?
Yeah, great question. So most prediction markets use an order book. This uses Meteora DMM. So, um, like if there's a market that, there's like I guess like, right, the reason why there isn't a lot of smaller markets on Polymarket or Kalshi, let's say, is because there isn't liquidity for it, right? So if you even want to put in like $50 to one of these markets, it would like change the odds like significantly. So an AMM solves this without having to, I guess, like compromise like on liquidity. And then the great thing about Meteor DMM is that if we want to add more liquidity to a market, sort of like how Hyperliquid will look at like, which coins are really in demand for perps and then add liquidity to it. We have like dynamic liquidity provision. So if a politics market for, I don't know, the 2020 eight like president right now will be super liquid, right? Because like there isn't really like a good idea, but on who it's going to be. But we can dynamically provision liquidity for it. So when it does become in demand, like it'll literally be a hyper liquid version of the prediction market. So.
That's cool.
And
And
like,
actually, this is a question that Nick had, and I actually thought the same thing. And sorry, Kitty, did you want to continue your thought there?
No, go ahead.
Just a question of why a user would buy through the UI here versus buying the token on, Dex Screener.
I think you should. I mean, it's funny. Is like our UI just redirects to like Jupiter, Axiom, like Soul Saver. So it's actually like we're not like Pump where you can, I guess, buy. At least right now, you can't buy through the UI. It's all just through like, yeah, like Jupiter, like Axiom. So we really want to make it native for where people are already trading. I think that's like the one biggest advantage we have over I guess existing prediction markets is like, because we made like the biggest Telegram bot for Polymarket, right? But the thing is like that was sort of like people trade in Telegram. That's the idea, is like, okay, maybe we'll trade Polymarket and Telegram. But the thing is like people are moving away from even those types of bots to just Axiom, right? Or just Jupiter. So I think our contract like mechanism allows you to trade in Axiom. So I think that's the real value add.
I wanted to hop in here and ask why a user would choose to trade a prediction market here on PMX instead of on Poly Market itself. Like if you have the same market on both places, what are the trade-offs that a user would rather choose to go on PMX here?
So one, we're totally Solana native, so you don't have to bridge to Polygon, and there's a bunch of fees when you bridge to Polygon. And there's all the benefits of Solana. It's a faster blockchain. There's all this other DeFi stuff you can do with it. But the real thing is like it's the user experience is better. It's like the user experience of an Axiom, which is like an advanced trading tool versus Polymarket. And then on top of that, the like if you made the market, or if your FNF made the market, then you get paid whenever you use the market, right? Versus Polymarket, there's no like incentive, I guess, to like shill the market or use the market, right? So that's the main thing.
And I think the cool thing about this is, okay, like with prediction markets, like the whole prediction market game is like you either win or you lose. So you're basically on a contract address, like any other meme coin with a defined upside or a defined downside. And really like just the fact that you can trade it anywhere, Trojan, Bonk, Bot, like it's really anywhere, right? And that's the biggest thing for distribution. Where is it? How do you make it easier for trenchers who want to play prediction markets, like not have to like get to Polygon, and for Calci, really like they charge a ridiculous fee for the markets. But going back to like liquidity side, like I remember like when I was playing Polymarket, this new market got launched. I think it was around like the Coldplay CEO getting fired by the end of the month. And I'm like, okay, this is like realistically this is happening. So like I bought like a couple grand of it, but because it was a new market, like I literally got filled up to $1. So I theoretically lost money because they had no liquidity. But I didn't check the liquidity, which is my bad. And for markets that are getting created on PMX, it's gonna be instant liquidity. So like once it's live, I can ape in and not be worried about getting filled right to like 99 cents.
I wanted to ask how oracles work as well. So you have a long tail of markets here. Like if I launch my market, how do you know who's right and wrong? Especially if I do it on something really obscure. I think that almost seems impossible to me. So I'm very curious for your answer.
Yeah, so right now we have a moderator system where we have like just a team of moderators that read the I guess resolution criteria, and also like your market can get like flagged for like your resolution criteria is like unclear. So but I think like long term we want to transition to like a system where you have like an automated like first pass decision on the criteria, and then you have like our moderator system. But right now it's just we just have a team of moderators that do it.
Okay, yeah, that
And
makes
like
sense.
Can someone
Chris,
DM me one of those moderators handles? I was just joking.
Chris, do you want to talk about like maybe the idea of like now that you guys own the infrastructure, like just talk about like the all the added potential utility that's coming with the token itself. Maybe touch on maybe like the decentralized portion that goes towards resolutions, and so forth.
Wait, sorry, I don't understand the question.
Like now that you guys own the infrastructure, like it's like all the possible utility things are in the works for the token itself when it comes to the actual like PMX infrastructure.
Oh yeah, well we're gonna announce this in the thread, but there will be a flywheel. Because there's so many, like when you shill a market, there's fees, right? And then those fees, like part of it obviously will go to creators, but then part of it will go back into our assistance fund, which will like help the token.
Oh, there's a good market to launch right there. when PolyCule flywheel.
I mean, it would resolve pretty quickly, but like, I guess some free money on the table right there. I guess, yeah.
Yo, Flynn, I saw you. Go ahead, bro. Just jump in.
Hey, yeah, AZ here. Thanks for having me on. I just checked out PolyCULE, the trading bot, yesterday. First time using a prediction market, very different than trading shitcoins. So it's good to experience this. I read over the little summary of PMX, very interesting, and I had a couple of questions because it's a very unique what you guys are doing, representing prediction market, yes or no, as actual tokens. The first one is, you guys said the max cap was set at 10 million market cap for the token. How is this? How do you technically implement this? This is I've never seen a token have like a max market cap before.
Yeah, so the exact implementation is on the docs if you want to read it after, but the TLDR is when the market's created, we have a supply that's like locked in basically like a vault of both the yes and the no. And then if we have like if the yes and the no get like out of balance, which is to say like yes is like 80 cents and the no is like 30 cents, right? We basically like have like the amount in the like vault is used to basically arbitrage the prices, so it goes back to like the actual like probability range of prices. So the exact implementation details are in the docs, but it basically it works basically through like arbitrage script, and then soon we're gonna like make it so everyone can run arbitrage, but right now it's just like our one node runs all the arbitrage.
That's crazy. So there is no like technical hard cap on a token. It's literally just selling tokens to bring it back to 10 million.
Exactly. Yeah. It's because we need them to all like correspond to the odds, and so basically when there's resolution, like just the tokens of the vault like basically just if it's yes, then it just dumps all the no tokens, so the yes price goes up to like 100. So yeah, that's how it works.
Interesting. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I'll be I'll be reading your docs for sure after, because from a technical perspective, this is a very interesting problem. I have a second final question. I was thinking about the edge case where somebody makes a market that is obviously heavily skewed into one direction. Like, for example, if someone were to make a silly market like, will Jesus Christ return in 2025? That's obviously going to resolve to no, right? What's the edge case here when somebody makes that market and then buys immediately, mass buys no? Or I guess you guys would never approve that market in the first place.
No, we would approve that market. I think like obviously like yeah, I mean obviously if someone's like, or say someone mass buys yes and they think Jesus Christ is going to return in 2026. I mean, we're a prediction market, right? So it's like we're ultimately a market, like it's for other market participants to decide whether or not that's true or not. Because Jesus could return this year, right, or next year. I mean, I don't know.
You say depends on who you ask.
So I think like
Flint's about to farm all the
we
Christian
just handle
followers.
resolution, right? So I guess if there is like like the last judgment, I guess our moderators will make sure to resolve yes right before they get raptured or whatever.
That's a good point. Can I jump in?
Go for it.
Yeah.
So the first question is, are creating markets, is it properly permissionless? So at what stage does the moderation work? So your moderation works on a first level of like, is this some like is it permissionless to creating the market, or is it I should say, is it moderated at creating the market, or is it moderated for the resolution, or a little
moderator is purely for resolution, and then obviously right now it's purely like through moderator fiat, but we're gonna have like community like basically like a lot of this is a response to like what Polymarket with UMA. The community will be able to veto moderators, but we're gonna add that in the future. So yeah.
Got it. So I think that's really interesting. And I noticed that your current pre-sale is set to $10,000 specifically for the pre-sale component of it. Hypothetically speaking, I create that pre-sale, I invest into that pre-sale. Well, I maybe not the word isn't invest, but we speculate on that, and we all go into the pre-sale with the speculation. Assuming there's zero volume post pre-sale, well, how does the voting mechanism stay live in general forever? And I guess, how does that work for me as the pre-sale?
Yeah, great question. So we actually when you make a market, you can decide like when it auto resolves. So we recommend you try to make markets that auto resolve in like a month. So basically like don't make will Jesus Christ return period, make will Jesus Christ return in October, right? So that way you like if you get no volume, like you say you like shill it and then no one really cares if Jesus is gonna return. then you get your money back at the end of the month, right? Maybe with like some fees because maybe a few people bid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the pre-sellers actually receive the liquidity back specifically.
Exactly. Yeah.
end.
Although, yeah, 100. Yeah. Like I'd say like we tried to make it so like, you know how like with Twitch they try to make it as good for the creators to like stream on Twitch. I think we've like optimized it for market deployers, right? So it's like there's basically only upside, right? Like I mean, other than the fact that like it gets locked to the term of how long you make the market, right? Like if you're good at shilling a market, like you will like make money off of what you locked in. And right now, it's we make the pre-sale cap 10K. We're eventually gonna lower it, but like since we're still like sort of like in I guess in alpha phase, we keep it at 10K.
I want to rob this.
I just got pinged from Chris. Like, try make go and make a market.
All right, am I doing this live, or does someone else want to make a market?
Yeah. Let's do this live. You can see how it works.
Yeah, I'll bid live.
All right, fine. I need some. Someone can give me a question and stuff. Also, the general chat, guys. If you should be able to pull it out from the right, but I can toggle the questions. There was maybe this question. I actually had a question on this. Like, there was the controversy around Zelensky's suit, if he wore a suit or not. Is there any? We talked about the resolution here. Is there any like process around that, or is this a crazy question where it could be both yes and no at the same time? What's comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, so the moderator system was sort of made in response to like the UMA Oracle system, right? So it's like the community couldn't veto UMA or like the UMA resolution, right? And the UMA resolution was just wrong, right? Like I think like it was kind of a case of like the UMA whales like just basically buying one side and then resolving the other side because it's like kind of ambiguous. So I guess like we're sort of a response to that.
Got it. Maybe I'll try and pull these if anyone else. One user asked when the docs will be available.
They're available right now. PMX.trade. Click on docs.
Okay.
Yeah, and someone also asked, what kind of marketing efforts you're doing to get users on the platform, and I think that's a great question.
We're sponsoring a few streamers, to be announced soon. But I think this is mostly going to be like organic, simply because I think there's a lot of value. I think like if you're a PCULE holder and you want to like do your part, I'd recommend just making a market and shilling it, because you'll also make a lot of money, especially if you choose a market that's like a big market, right? Like I think like there's a lot of upside here.
Nick?
Yeah, that makes sense. I like the like natural approach. I think that can do really well. That's also the most sticky. Like if you have to do paid stuff, it's much less likely to really genuinely resonate with people. But if you can get people to get excited and like chill it on their own, that's definitely a recipe for success.
And honestly, I think the cool thing is like there's always hot topics on the trenches that everyone's debating about, and now can more or less turn into a market that people can sort of bet on. Like everyone's been talking about, oh, like when is the launch point flywheel coming out? And everyone's sort of speculating it. So something like that being turned into a market that people could ape into, like that's really the idea of it. And there's always gonna be categories like NFL, sports, politics, sort of typical markets you see in polymarket. I think the cool side of this is like PMX can really just hone in on what the trenches are talking about, and that can convert into a market that people can play.
Hey guys, I'm about to shoot over the first 10K here, at least on our side. I just send over to the address, right, to fund the market.
Yeah, I will say like you need to make the market first. So I think don't send to the connected wallet. Like I guess like who's making Josh?
Josh,
yeah.
Give me a title, drop it in the TG and an image, and I'll just add it here. But please help me out, make it easy for me, please.
What are you interested in, Josh? Like,
Well, the flywheel's already out there, but I don't know. Will the
that's all you live for now? Like,
Yeah, like I'm trying to have a crypto specific one.
I don't know, Mercy. Do you have an idea? Like, I'm not
Do
sure.
you have a price target? Like,
Just
is
launch
is
one.
Bitcoin going to be above 100K by the end of the year or something? Like could be kind of a way people can like long and short without actually getting liquidated, for example.
I actually just created one just now. We'll launch coin break 150 million by October 15th.
okay, wait, that's
150. Yeah.
Yeah, I said 150 million
Wait,
market cap.
That's a good one.
Wait, is the pre-sale live or did you bond it?
I didn't bond it. It's just a pre-sale. I just created it. It's active as a pre-sale right now.
Yeah, Josh, you might want to go to, instead of making one, you might want to just go to the main screen, like look at pre-sales, and then just like ape into that one.
Okay.
Now I've created it. Where can I actually buy it on here? So do I?
You gotta go to pre-sales. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay, got it. So I'm buying his, right? So I've no economics on this. Just
No, you
support
do.
me.
You actually
Okay.
you actually get most of the economics by LPing.
Oh, really?
Employers
Okay.
only get 10% of the fees.
Got it. So I'm normie, guys, just so you know. I'm looking at this for the first time. So this is the market you created, Mercy, here top right. Will Bitcoin's price hit 120K in September?
No, I actually did the one on the far left side, top left corner. Will launch coin break 150 million by
Got it.
So they're actually, I didn't see this specifically with anything. So I guess that wallet address is actually good for us all to go together. That address right there is the address where you actually send Solana to. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Got it.
Ape into that one.
Okay.
See, this one's maybe a little confusing. Is the rules basically if it goes over 150 mil at some point in the next up like until that date, then if it happens to go like to 160 in a week from now and then goes back down to like 100 mil, like does this resolve as
Great
true?
question.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it says break 150 by this time. So the resolution doesn't imply it has to stay there. So it just has to break it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. I really like that.
Yeah, it really goes like any prediction market. It really goes down to what your resolution criteria is. Like, you could define it as will it be higher than 150 by resolve date, or if you're in this case, you're saying will it break 150?
Yeah, like I think some people could misinterpret it, but it is pretty clear. I think the term break 150, people understand that to be like go above. And
Yeah,
doesn't say
and
it has to
I
stay
believe
there.
there's like, yeah, that's where we're adding the additional description rules for.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like I mean you can kind of PvP this market now actually by just taking this exact title, making a more elaborate description, and then aping your 10K into it.
Cool.
So,
I just tested throwing
stealing the
some
player
SOL.
fee.
I actually just tested sending some SOL to it as well. I just sent some.
Yeah, no, send USDC. I think it's clear there to send USDC. If you send SOL, I think Chris will just send it to you back.
That was my bad. I said 0.5. It's whatever. No worries. That's why I did a test, honestly. This is good that we're doing this on stream together. As you do not send SOL to that address. I just donated and burned some Solana to the Solana ecosystem. Happy to support. Took some out of the circulating.
Very, very cool product. We just deployed our first NFL market and sent the 10K, did a refresh. It's already funded. But really love this. I feel like it's needed. It's very cool that it's entirely on Solana. And we're gonna have a lot of fun creating markets on this. So great work, everybody.
Awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
Get rich chilling markets. I mean, like,
There's actually hella group chats for this too. There's so many prediction group chat trading groups, like Easy runs one. Like there's so many of these guys that like run these types of prediction group chats. And then all your favorite trading communities. Like God, I feel like every trading community would love this because they're like honestly everyone's favorite things like the counter trade sentiment and counter trade opinions. And like frankly, it's really hard to do that without like building this type of technology. So like your favorite, like you said, your favorite FNF community, your favorite trading community to be able to have something like this where they can like code trade these opinions is really, really, really good.
We had a few questions in the chat too. Someone asked if we can do open-ended questions, like who will be the next Fed chair if there's like multiple choices, like if it's Besant or
so multiple choice ones. We're gonna have support for that later this week.
Oh, sick.
But we're just launched with like
nice.
this too, because it's possible. It's just a liquidity Like there's some like liquidity logic that we have to like write for it, but yeah, it's very possible.
Cool. Also, people are curious about the token value accrual to the PMX or PQL token.
Yeah, well, I'll like announce some like specifics on that like very
That's a
soon.
great market. Someone should launch that for sure.
Yeah, if someone wants to do that, like, I mean,
we'll DM
maybe
Krish,
a
me and
money
you.
market, like, yeah. It'd be very hard to like write the description, but yeah.
Quick question: once a market gets funded, what does that process look like for it to go live?
Like we have like moderators approve it merely because of the description problem. Like we don't want someone to deploy like a market that has like a bad description. But yeah, we have we're like we have our team of moderators that are up like 24/7. So it should always be live basically. Like very 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 early.
And
So-
once a market goes live, you can't update anything like the title or anything like that, right?
Yeah, right now users can't. But I think like yeah, we're the moderator system is like if there's like clarification in the description, we'll probably like add that effectively.
So for continuity here, I funded this with 150 USDC. It's now in there. Looks like someone else has come in with 50 as well. So Mercy, I'm helping you out here.
Sneak into the bundle.
Yeah, I'm in the bundle. I didn't have the 10K Mateus through at his, but we'll
Yeah.
support with 150.
Shout out that acid dash cash, baby.
Yeah.
No, we're excited about this. We're let you guys definitely put out your announcement first, but we plan on creating a ton of markets and promoting them through Mobi Screener. So we'll definitely be sharing something later today. But this is a really cool product. I like the ability that you're incentivized to move quickly, right? When you hear something, breaking news, spin up a market, really fun product. So excited to dive into it.
No, yeah, I hope that like we can sort of be like the fastest way people get news. I think like obviously like I think the order book like prediction markets have their place. I think the way I like to think of it is like the order book prediction markets are kind of like a Binance type thing, and we're sort of like we kind of want to be like Pump, where it's like something that's super like like on the cutting edge, like you just deployed, like it'll be on here, and then like maybe that when that market matures, like you'll probably like see it on a call sheet or like a poly market.
Definitely.
I have a question. What happens if this pre-sale isn't filled? Is this refunded back to the people that
Yeah, if it doesn't like get funded within a week, everyone.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah, that's really cool. I feel like that really incentivizes people to be like fly these things out. You know what I mean? Like put them in and put them out. That's fire. I was thinking I saw another.
Yeah, I think we're probably very soon going to add like you can instantly withdraw from a pre-sale simply because like I think like what the effect we want is like people to actually PvP each other's markets in order to get the most like accurate resolution description. Because if you look at like Polymarket or Kalshi, like so much of the like annoyance is like people couldn't just come up with the best resolution description. But if you have like market incentives where people are like trying to deploy and like come with the best description, and then like if you can Alwyn one and then withdraw and like Alwyn in a better one, then I think we'll end up with much better like descriptions that are like much more rigorous.
A lot of questions about PMX. I think an explanation zone. So you guys are obviously PCULE, but this website's called PMX. You want to like walk us through the thought of that?
Okay, yeah, we're token name change soon.
That's a good mark.
So you're not launching a separate token. This is going to be the same token, just with a rebrand.
No. We're like I believe that like you one life, one token. I feel like, or I guess one company, one token. Like
that's a hell of a commitment, Chris. Careful with your words. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
I know. I think like everyone's like, oh, like this project's way bigger. Like you should do like a separate like thing. I mean, I don't know. I think like that we obviously we love our community, and we like we believe in the product. Like we believe in the community. We just want to reward everyone. So I would never do like a.
Yeah, I think that's the right call for sure.
I just got a question from a user. I don't know if you clarified this, but how are you going to handle duplicate markets? So two markets, both funded, but for example, like two of the exact same sports game, for example.
Yeah, that's when the PvP element comes in. So like whoever can like just like dump more liquidity, I think will, or maybe who has a better resolution
Nice.
criteria, right?
And is it
yeah.
up to the market creator to determine the resolution? I wasn't clear on that part.
Yeah. When you create a market, you write the
But
resolution.
for example, when let's say the game ends, does the market creator need to go into the UI and actually?
No.
Perfect.
That's all moderators.
Awesome.
What about the nuance of like a tie, right, in those circumstances? And I guess my other question was, actually, I'll leave it for that. Yeah, I'll leave it for like those moments where like who beats who, you know what I mean, or in those types of scenarios.
Yeah, so like resolute like market moderators like when they like flag a resolve, like it won't like instant like dump the tokens and like resolve at a like market level, right? Like the liquidity will still be there for a few days. Like I guess like the mechanics of it will be that like once people will like see the moderator like uh what the resolution from moderators are, and then like trade in accordance to that. And then like obviously if there's some like toss up, right, where it's like, oh, the moderators are wrong, like the market could totally flip, right? But it's in general, like resolution won't happen until like there's like 100% certainty in the resolution criteria. So like when a game ends and it's like overtime or something, right? Like unless the market was like who will be in the lead by like this time, like it'll be like that. And obviously like all markets like they all have like a direct end date, right? So it's like if there's no resolution by a certain time, it'll auto resolve to no. So you have to when you have to program that in the market when you make it. So
My fault to that. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Nico. That's you.
Yeah, no, you can follow up with that. I'll ask my question afterward.
It was a separate question, but my question is going to be for the current PolyCule users that are on Telegram that are using Poly Market. Will they have access to PMX? Will they be able to start trading these new markets through the bot?
So the bot is like right now only for Polygon, but you can trade on Soul Cipher. It's really funny. Like you can trade on it on Soul Cipher, but not on PolyCule yet. But like we're gonna onboard PolyCule users. It's a upcoming priority.
Really cool. Really
So-
cool. That makes sense. And I guess like for everybody that's tuning in right now, that's not like familiar with this, that's like maybe from my community or kind of learning about like prediction markets currently for context. Polycule as a bot was one of the very first platforms on Telegram that allowed users to trade in the Solana ecosystem, poly market bets without having to go through like the, 4 or 5 step bridge process or the painstaking process of like bridging over to Polygon and using USDC on ETH to essentially utilize this product, which was really, really important because obviously Solana is where all these types of traders really exist in droves, right? And obviously PMX is like the first iteration where it's an actually on-chain issuance, as in historically for people who are using Polycule, there was no way for anyone to specifically deploy a market at all. You could only interact with like what was deployed in the on Poly market specifically. And it sounds like currently their focus was initial core product first, onboard users with PMX, and it looks like you guys are going to create some type of process for users to use the Polycule bot to trade this over time too. Which I'm sure there's some people who are probably wondering, like, it sounds like you guys are very thoughtful by creating like a very creator friendly environment or like deployer friendly environment. So there's like almost, it seems like, maybe I could be wrong, there seems like almost zero risk to deploying here. Like the only, I think like probably like the only risk is like, maybe sitting on that money for a little bit, maybe wait like a 30-day window essentially. So you're kind of like parking capital.
Yeah, like I mean, if it wasn't getting yield, yeah, if it wasn't getting yield in the first place, like there's no like I guess financial risk in that, in like the I guess classic economic sense. But obviously, right, like make sure you deploy markets that other people want. I think like if you deploy markets that no one wants, then your money's gonna be locked up for however long you decide to make the resolution. So
I'm really curious to see, like, yeah, your money's locked. It's more or less like a DeFi play if you're creating a market and seeding it. But you should see like how like politics ended up being the Apple like iPhone moment for like prediction markets. And like as you can see, prediction markets, like the mindshare right now is all-time high, and it deserved it. Um, like if we ever go to a bear market, the only things that really survive are prediction markets and perps. But in this case, if someone makes like a politics market, really like that date of resolution is gonna be quite far out, so your money's gonna be locked. But as you saw in Polymarket, and
But I mean, the upside's
yeah,
very
yeah,
high, right? Like
exactly.
if you're like the person with the most liquid 2028 market, like you're gonna maybe like make like $10 million or something
Yeah, like the
minimum.
volume that
Like
went through Polymarket on like the 2020 the last US election was just absolutely absurd. So really, like whoever wants to, see that and lock their liquidity up for a market like that, like it's longer resolution time, but like insane upside.
Could you walk us through a little bit of like how you guys initially got users for PolyCule, and maybe you can talk to us a little bit about how you plan to roll this out to Solana users, because this obviously is a bit of a new product. The current PolyCule bot users can't interact with this just yet. So how do you guys currently plan? I remember you mentioned a little bit of streamers, stuff like that. I remember you.
yeah, obviously we have distribution. I do think like basically everyone in Solana, or I'll even just say in crypto, is on Axiom. Like, so I think like right now, like I'm not so worried as getting someone who only trades on Polycule bot, because that's not like a thing. Like I think everyone's trading on Axiom, everyone's trading on some form of like Solana Telegram bot. Someone's trading on like, so there's so many ways people trade like on Jupiter, on Phantom. And what we kind of wanted to do was make something infra layer where like basically the same, like as long as someone gives you the CA, you can trade it, right? So I'd say like like I'm not super worried about its onboarding users. It's almost like the like I feel like our infra is like good enough and accessible enough uh where we want to sort of have people build on top of it. And I guess like sort of like again taking the inspiration from Hyperliquid, right? Like they have the best infra and they have a really good front end. We're obviously like going to invest a lot in our front end. But at the end of the day, like their real like gem is the infra. And I think like I would say that like we probably have the best like like AMM based prediction market on the internet right now. And so I think that's like the real I guess moat we have, and sort of how we're gonna scale a lot.
Where do Axiom traders find this currently, and do you guys have plans to like integrate? So it sounds like you guys, well, if I'm on Axiom, I would see this through like the Meteor DVC preset setting on like migrating and post as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, like I mean these markets, if they're like high volume, they'll like show up on trending in Axiom. So I guess like and obviously if you have a screener set up for Meteor, you'll also be able to see them that way.
Really cool. Really cool.
Will Asset Dash have a section for this?
So we're about to announce that. I'm actually going to jump now to chat with the rest of the team, and thank you for that Mobi screener. Shout out.
Yeah, you know what? I will say I didn't pull up Dex screener. I made sure intentionally pull up Mobi screener for you, Mateus.
I really appreciate that.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about this. We just funded our second 10K market. So we have 2 funded markets that we launched. One is an NFL game for next week, and the other one is around Mamdani. We're really excited about this. Yeah, we're really excited about this. We think it's really cool. Our plan now that we'll probably announce shortly after PolyCule makes the official announcement is we're going to be funding a lot of markets ourselves. We're going to be rallying, our community to, join markets that we're creating, and definitely have plans to integrate this into the Mobi Screener UI relatively quickly. This came together pretty
shout
quick.
out Asset Dash. You guys, man, I gotta say, I just was like, Dex Screener is just robbing like everybody in the space. And they're just the most anti-crypto company that exists in the space. They're like the most Web 2 company that exists in the space. And I remember I was pinging you, Matthias, about this. I'm just like, when is somebody going to pay attention like what's happening on chain right now, and like give the damn users what they're asking for, which is a place to visualize all these things in the way they need to be visualized and benchmarked, right? Even prediction marks, ICM tokens, all these things, these emerging markets in this space, the one thing they all lack is benchmarking, a way for you to like visualize them in comparison in like their unique ways. I'm very curious, how do you guys plan to like visualize the prediction market coins on Asset Dash? That's like really fire.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, first, this has come together really quickly. So I personally have been a big fan of PolyCule for a while now, but never spoken with the team or anything like that until 24 hours ago. Coincidentally enough, we were starting to apply a lot of the technology we've built around meme coins to prediction markets. So, we launched collaboration accounts with Polymarket and Kalshi a few months ago. And then about 2 weeks ago, I think, we launched our smart money prediction feed on Moby Screener, which is getting very popular. So it tracks the top bettors on Polymarket and shows you what they're betting on in real time. And, when I kind of, got word through seeing on X what PolyCULE was cooking up and, obviously getting to see the product today, it's very aligned with our vision, where we want to ensure that we are the best platform to discover all opportunities, right? Whether it's the next big token or it's the next big opportunity in prediction markets. So I think this product is, one, very innovative, and two, a great fit for our audience. So, we're already coming up with a ton of ideas as to how we could leverage the PMX tech and introduce it to our audience in a really clean UI that makes it easy to either A, jump into markets that we've created, or B, trade markets that already exist. And I think there's an opportunity there for us to do both.
And honestly, I love Moby Screener, and I know you guys have a Polymarket Whale Watch X that I always follow, and I take trades off it. But yeah, you guys are always ahead of the game of really just focusing on sort of quality. And can't wait to see what sort of markets you guys fill, because I'm a big prediction markets trader. It's so different. Obviously there's meme coins, there's ICM, but prediction markets is such a different way to trade based on your gut or what you think is happening with real world events.
For sure. No, it's completely different. And I think this implementation is really exciting because I think it's very community first, right? And it gives a platform, I guess this launched an hour ago, and we've already created 2 markets from an Asset Moby side of things. So, it's great that we can just jump in, find things that we think fit for our audience, and create markets that we think will be meaningful for them. And yeah, PMX Whale Watch probably coming very soon. But appreciate everybody. Congrats on the release. This is awesome. I'm actually going to sync with the team now to plan our announcement of the markets that we've created. But great work here. Seems like a very, very cool product, and happy to be involved in support from day one. Awesome, guys. Appreciate it.
Amazing.
Take care.
Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so.
Yeah, it was so legendary, dude. Matthias, man, we randomly, obviously we rolled out ICM.run and we were talking privately, and he saw the PolyCULE engagement, ICM.run and PolyCULE did together to co-market. He DM me, goes, first off, want to get involved with ICM.run. Love what you guys are doing. I think ICM has a place. He goes, can you connect me to PolyCULE? I'm like, done. Done deal. I've always been saying for so long, it just bothers me that, these platforms that people track coins on, they are simply only designed for your most minimum barrier type of token, right? Your pump fund, your basic token. But frankly, if someone who has capital that's looking to trade anything that's outside of your standard meme coin, they need benchmarking. They need to be able to compare and review things, be able to visualize it differently. I think Time.fun understands that. A time token trades on Axiom, just like how every other token trades on Axiom, right? But when you go on Time.fun, there's there's the clear value angle of it that you can visualize here. And I love that you guys at PMX understand that too, right? Realistically, all your job is doing as and you would say PolyCULE PMX is a launch pad in ways. It is a token launch pad at the end of the day. And
no, it literally is a token
right?
launchpad. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't say that enough.
It literally is a launch pad, and it is a launch pad's duty to make sure the traders understand what they're trading, understand it, to be able to make a decision of where to put the money. I think you guys probably have a hill to climb on communicating this new type of tech of seeding this liquidity. I think you guys have a lot of education you guys are going to have to do around people creating pre-markets. I think you guys have already covered the 80%. That 20% gap is just communicating the de-risk of deploying probably. And I think you guys have a lot ahead of you to do that, but also you have that first mover advantage as well, which is also powerful too. So again, massive congrats. I wanted to ask Sandra, I noticed you were getting errors. Is this a geolocation locked product, or is this a completely global product? Anybody can go on here right now and start trading on PMX or start using PMX.
Yeah, we're not geo-locked, but yeah, I mean, I guess our policy is the same as Pump, where it's just make sure you're doing it in the correct jurisdiction. Like these are like prediction market, like there are prediction market dynamics, but these are like tokens that like trade in a sense like meme coins. So I guess I would say that there's not much difference between us and Pump. And I was actually like going to say that PMX right now it definitely is like Pump in the early days, where I think like most people were like, oh, why would I want to deploy a coin, right? The same thing was like most people don't have an idea of like what prediction market they would like conceive, but I think like whenever there's like breaking news and there's like a thing that someone who happens to not be like one of the like few people in Kalshi or Polymarket who can make a market want to make a market out of, I think that's when we're going to see this product like really like contribute, because I do think there's so many markets out there that I think people want to know the answers to that I think are not on those platforms.
That helps me a
Yeah.
lot. I think. Go, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say like like you'll see it on Twitter, but now let's see like okay, what sort of volume can come from it. But like I forgot if it was like Frank or Raspberry tweeted something. They were like, oh, someone make a prediction market on if Cupsy's gonna make more, be more profitable in September than in August, for example. And it's like, hey, now we can just get a market going, see if there's enough demand for it by seeing liquidity, and then let people hit it.
I think I'll speak to Sander for a second. Sander, you obviously run Killer Whales. You've probably have done your fair shake at evaluating indie project teams in your lifetime. How do you evaluate like these types of products, like a PMX, right? These new use case products. You're actually building a DEX yourself. You know what I mean? So you obviously have like some exposure to this type of stuff. What's your current take on like prediction markets? Is this something that you yourself find that like the whales in your community pay attention to, or do you feel like this is still like in a very early stage where people are like still migrating from how they trade traditional coins?
Guys, I really think that this is where the magic happens. In our space, innovation goes really fast, and everybody was taken by storm by the success of Polymarket. But by now, Polymarket is 1.5 years old, right? So this industry has a tendency to find new ways to monetize attention, monetize degeneracy, basically. And when I just wrote about what you guys are doing, I was utterly impressed, because this is one of the ways how we innovate this space, and this is one of the ways how people are actually being drawn into this. People like this. People like to be able to do something else, to predict something, buy a share, and see what comes out. And I really love the fact that you guys are combining like a launch pad together with a trading mechanism, with a prediction market. And I really think this thing has legs to run on. So I really like this idea. I really love this. I think this could be something that we can also even, hypothetically put onto the show. Of course, before going on to that, we definitely need to have a couple of audits in and make sure that everything's safe for everybody to use. And what I always look at is like, how easy is it for anybody, seeing this stream or willing to commit a couple of like $100 into an ecosystem? How easy is it for him or her to actually pick up the phone, start working with it, and see the result, right? And that is, I think, like the last barrier that we still need to do. But I think this is fun. This is entertaining. This is, the equivalent of playing a game, the equivalent of, doing a poker game, and I think this works. So I'm pretty bullish on these types of things.
Oh, and also, sorry, answering De Niro Dom's question, but just before I leave, we basically made like a very almost custom version of DMM with Meteora for this, so it was a very close partnership. That's why I think I don't think anyone will be able to replicate this in a short amount of time. So I think what we've built is really special.
It's really dope. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having us on, and I'm obviously really stoked. One thing, it just is just me from a product perspective, I would love to see is that I know how I'm going to trade this and how I'm going to create markets on this, and it's just going to be in group chats. You know what I mean? It's just TG group chats, baby. It's where it all goes down, And I would love to see like PolyCULE being able to be added to a group chat that I'm in with my homies, my friends, being able to like at the bot create the market all through the bot, just in the group chat, and create a way for us all to like trade them together essentially through Telegram, even if it's just like guides them through it. And of course, like I'd like to be noted whenever any pre-sale goes migrates. Like I want the ECA. So I would love to see you guys like ship something, even if it's like PolyCULE bot on X, like PolyCULE bot on X, that like puts out a notification like something migrated or a new market has been seeded. Like, you know, I want the ECA. I want to get on these things as fast as I can. So I would love to see you guys ship something like
Yeah,
that.
well, we're gonna release a few like X bots also, but yeah, Telegram bot is also on the timeline, probably within the week.
Dope.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for joining, Krish. That was awesome, by the way. Guys, this was fire. PCULE is actually having a nice little run here while we've been chatting, so I'm glad the market likes the reaction. But yeah,
We wanted to give you guys like what the product's gonna be, and the tweets are gonna come out today of all the sort of details. I think the cool piece is like, and you guys touched on this, like this is a launch pad, and the mechanic, that like the flywheel mechanics of it is gonna similar be to what realistically what Believe might look like, in terms of like how the fees are gonna work and get incorporated a token. And some of the tweets that are gonna come out is like the additional utility that's gonna come with the token itself, to the actual product. But yeah, the tweets are gonna come out like today, and people can kind of sort of fully dig in and see like really how well this is sort of designed.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet. I'm excited to see. I really hope that they get a lot of users, and it's on us to really like make cool markets and tell our friends about them.
Yeah, we need some ref links too ASAP. Get Krish
yeah.
on that ASAP. That's
That's a
what
good
I
point.
need right now. I need that. I need to go into PolyCULE and see that I have 50 SOL in refs ASAP.
Where can I direct my audience order flow? Honestly, where's the ref
That's a
link?
good question.
Yeah,
Okay, Krish on that.
Well, you know what, guys? As you guys think of like a really cool market to play, just make it. You know, seed the liquidity, or you know, decentralize like the liquid, like you know, get multiple participants into liquidity, and just go ahead and see how prediction market really plays out. I know for one, like I'm gonna try to play the sports ones, and you know, if there's any trend specific topics that I feel debating on, I'm definitely gonna be playing that. I think one interesting piece that I think people will sort of catch on, is when a market launches, it opens up at 50% odds. So I'll leave it to you to see how that can sort of play into maybe some sort of arbitrage.
I always wish this was available because I'm from Philly and I'm a huge Eagles fan. Like, go Birds! It's a problem for me. I'm the Philly sports fan most people are worried about, to be honest. And I'll be honest, like I remember when we went to the Super Bowl, go Birds! And when we went to the Super Bowl, I was in some pump fund coin for Philadelphia Eagles. I was up like 18 G's. I'm watching us just dominate that last Super Bowl, baby. Like, we dominated. Philadelphia Eagles dominated last Super Bowl, right? I go on my victory streak. I go away from my computer. I'm taking screenshots of the P&L, sending my friends, haha, you suck. You know what I mean? I have friends from that area. And I come back and then I'm at like a $400 P&L because everyone turbo dumped when the Eagles won. You know what I mean? We're basically winning, right? And that's like, you know, that's like the issue with like these very linear pump fund type of coins, right? That like the moment something is true, it becomes priced in. Do you know what I mean? Something is true, it becomes priced in. And I think like that's something I really like about this, because like I was early to that, you know, linear prediction coin on pump fund, right? And you know, that's like a bit of an issue, right? And that also has happened for other coins that go on streams, right? A lot of times when like linear coins that don't have like these resolutions go on streams, things become priced in. You know what I mean? People you know, predict, they speculate something's going to do well, and then when the consensus that it has done well, the people who are in early sell into that consensus, right? Which doesn't create value for people who are early to feel comfortable sitting on capital. Do you know what I mean? If I lack of better words, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's one thing that's like I'm really stoked about prediction markets coming in. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not bridging to ETH. I know, Sandra. I love you. I love BNB. Like, shout out CC. I'm not bridging to ETH. I'm super soul maxed out. It's so bad. And I've been waiting for like there be like a good prediction markets where my friends that all trade on Sol, or all my whale friends are all trading in Sol, for me to dunk on them when the Eagles go to the Super Bowl again this year. Go Birds.
Yeah, like honestly, and like yeah, maybe like obviously maybe I'm biased, but I do think like what PMX has built, like that's going to be one of the next big consumer apps, and the only in big prediction market that's going to be on Solana. Basically, the technical back end of this was really took a lot of work to figure out and the design of it. Using like Meteor rails to sort of figure this out. But touching on the point that you sort of said, like when people are watching live sports games, like you're like, I want to swap bets or make bets like as things happen. And when I was doing it on Poly Market, maybe because there's like some low liquidity, but like basically a game was over and I saw that there was like 5% arbitrage because they didn't, it wasn't fully closed. It didn't close like 20 minutes later, and I was able to like just ape in and make quick arbitrage. But during the NBA finals, I kind of saw, I think it's Tatum who's like sprained his ankle, and I was able to flip my bet. It wasn't too fast because a Polygon and it's Poly Market. But now that I'm like if I'm trading on like a Telegram bot, if I have a Telegram bot ready to go, I can easily just make my quick swap on Solana and just be ahead of the curve with real time information. It is sports betting the end, but you're trading on real world events either happening or not happening, and there's a clearly defined outcome.
This is really cool. I guess like the one thing that I would love, again, just love to see one last. I do this for every project in the ICM.run ecosystem. Is I put together like I made my bones in the space being a beta product tester for so many different DeFi products. Like that's how I kind of got into a lot of this stuff on chain while I was building like my little Web2 SaaS product for the last few years. And one thing that I would love to see on PMX is when you go over to that pre-sale section, I'd love to see which ones are mostly full. I would love to be able to like make a bet and speculate on which one is full too. Because obviously when you get to the stage where pre-sales are PvPing each other, it'd be really cool for us to be able to like go and see which one. If you actually go on your screen right there and hit the pre-sales, be able to see like what stage that they're in.
Yeah, so like all that stuff's gonna be in the works in terms of like, it's gonna be broken down by category tags, which ones are close to being filled. Like we started just wanting to launch products. We weren't sure, like, okay, are people going to start making markets? Are they going to start filling markets? We kind of want to just launch a product and have all the technical and base layer of user experience ready to go. But all that stuff is going to be like in the works and shipped out pretty quickly.
Bullish. Yeah, I'm so stoked on what you guys are building. Obviously, I think like for one, like prediction market lack a token, you know what I mean? And I think like that in and of itself, like I love that PolyCULE is like an on-chain token. You can bet on the success of the product. If you're tuning in right now and you think whatever prediction markets won't go on Sol, you can trade up and down like the token itself, right? But and like in this super meta way, you could as well make a prediction of PolyCULE's price action on this particular product, which I think is just like the abstraction of speculation. You know what I mean? And like I love that type of stuff. Man, when's there going to be a PolyCULE? I need a PolyCULE trading group ASAP. Like, who's creating the PolyCULE trading group so I can like ape into some of this stuff in real time? There's a few
so
for.
We're gonna add in a group in the Meteor trench chat. But
right.
I'm sure PMX itself might create a subgroup chat or something in that like to get people yapping about it or trading. But
yeah,
I'm gonna be creating a subgroup in the Meteor trench group.
Want to give a quick shout out to ICM.run. PolyCULE committed a ton of supply of their token to our DAO treasury. That was very kind of you guys to like again be supporting this like ecosystem of ICM and I think like again our goal at ICM.run is to like back real builders, people who are like building products for on-chain users. That's why we're an on-chain DAO. You know what I mean? In the first place, we're an on-chain incubator for that very reason. So a huge shout out to you guys for backing ICM.run. And frankly, I would not be on this stream if I I didn't believe in the product in the first place. There's no amount of money that can buy anybody's time. At least in my little community, it's all about building really, really, really good products. So shout out to
Yeah,
you guys. KK,
and
you
and
guys are
to
animals.
and to just sort of glaze ICM run, and honestly, everyone jumped on this chat. Like everyone, like all the mentors in ICM run are putting so much time in trying to make ICM a reality, and that takes a lot of pieces. It's gonna be culture. It's about getting people together. Invest on the investor side. It's showcasing some of the best builders that are building the space. Through streams like this, maybe future demo days, like all this stuff is getting thought out, so we can basically be San Francisco on chain. Also on my end, on for Meteora, it is my life mission right now to make ICM and back and support the best founders I see who really have a big vision and committed to building for the long term. And really, that's why I got involved with PolyCule from the get, pre-launch. Like I was talking with the founder for so long, and I saw what type of saw the type of founder he is. And that's what really ICM Run Meteor is going to be doing. So, and all the mentors came up. It was out of their own time. We didn't even tell them what the product was until right before the stream. And they sort of, got aligned with it, and that's really the vision of ICM. And
Yeah.
PolyCule, it was a no-brainer for PolyCule to add to the treasury DAOs, because what you guys are building is exactly what our ethos is aligned with.
100%. Shout out Believe App too. Appreciate you, Nick, for being here as well and supporting what we're doing here. And I know Nick is actually an individual mentor in this DAO, completely adjacent to Believe App, but of course, as an ICM believer, someone who's deployed a token in the Believe App ecosystem himself. I'm a firm believer in on-chain. I think on-chain is the way. And I think for one, it was important for me when I built out this ICM.run ecosystem that we didn't just pull in your favorite ICM founder, your favorite, your favorite ICM trader. I really wanted unique opinions. And Sander, to speak to you directly, I give you a lot of credit for being a very first mover in this. There's a lot of institutions right now that are very far away from ICM and are not paying attention to what's happening to indie builders on chain. And I remember when we first spoke about this, for what it's worth, everybody listening, Sander from Killer Whales is actually literally mentor number 2 in this DAO. I DM'd probably 50 to 60 people back in May, April, May, that I was building this incubator on chain. And Sander's one of the only people who saw the vision on that, one of the few. Basically, everybody faded the DM because not many people have exposure to building new markets. Sander does. Sander has been and faced tens of thousands of projects that have applied to Killer Whales, fielded hundreds of calls, thousands of calls with indie project teams that far prior to PMF. And I got to give you guys a lot of flowers. There's going to be a lot of institutions punching the fucking air, excuse my language, that they didn't take advantage of paying attention and supporting this new market that's forming. Sander, I guess for your perspective, why are you so bullish on this ICM narrative? Obviously I know I have my own ideas, but I've never actually asked you directly.
Yeah, it's a good question, but in all honesty, I really hated the Web2 space. I used to work with big institutions and I, ran my own companies, but it's all extremely old-fashioned, with equity and stocks and stuff like that. It's slow moving. Nobody really cares, right? It's boring as hell, right? And I went into Web3 because things move quickly. Markets are liquid. You can go in, you can go out, you can launch a token. And what I've been seeing is that this market has been making it easier and easier and easier to do this. And I think ICM is just the next iteration. I truly believe that this is the way how companies will be funded in the future. I truly believe this is the way how startups can generate a basic capital where they make money from attention and creator activations, where they build a good product and are rewarded instantly, instead of waiting for years and years and years for the equity to go up in value, maybe do an IPO and 99.9% die on the road and make zero to no money. And this is work for what you're worth. Make sure that you have attention. You build a cool product. It works. People like it, and that's how you should get paid. So this is the future. The old VC model still works for very big projects, but I do believe true innovation moves fast, and true innovations need liquidity. And I think liquidity should be based on usage and activations instead of a great pitch deck. So that's why I love this, and I truly believe in this vision.
Bullish, bullish. I think a lot of people are going to be wishing that they paid attention to this over the next 4 to 5 months. The crypto narrative space moves in narratives, right? Frankly, by the time the entire market prices in the value of ICM or prices in the value of Polycule, the investor opportunity is already done, if that makes sense, right? The opportunity right now is to support innovators like yesterday and today, realistically, right now. The best best products that are going to be utilizing these and are going to be, I guess you could say, your narrative project, your narrative coins, your narrative opportunities. It would be like getting into AI and crypto in late 2022. Late 2022, early 2023 is how I feel about ICM today in like 2025, like this mid year 2025 Q3. Is that like by the time the market prices in and we see like Polycule in the 500 million range, and we see like all these different ICM coins like fully priced in, the opportunity for like VC opportunities is going to be gone, right? Completely gone. And I do agree wholeheartedly that there are going to be teams that need funding. And I don't think ICM is at that stage yet where, big projects and big ideas that need that 4-year runway to like come to market are going to be able to get financially created on market, like essentially like tokenized on market and value exchanged on market yet. But it's very obvious to me that that gap just keeps closing. Every single day I'm hearing of another team building some new type of launchpad technology, some type of new on-chain liquidity protocol, or some new unique use case to be able to do this that allows allows like better runway and more transparency. And I think this is going to be the way, because truthfully, I think you can speak to this, Andrew. I know for me personally, I can speak for myself, but I know you can speak to this. Like off-chain VC, right? Off-chain VC or just traditional equity exits are at all-time lows, right? Valuations are at all-time lows because of AI acceleration, and we're not seeing these big liquid exits like we used to see, or these big liquid. We're seeing like all-time high creative financing deals for exits, all-time high creative financing deals. Frankly, that leads to like zero liquidity in most cases, or like very slim liquidity. And I think we will see, some ICM tokens reach $1 billion market cap. I think we really will see that that hit that stage. But the opportunities now to get into those types of opportunities, the opportunities now to back those types of teams.
And maybe today we've seen the first one that's going to reach that $1 billion market cap, because it needs a little bit of attention, it needs a little bit of a bright idea. And just today, this is the first project, and I've been looking at like all the projects you guys are pushing, and what you guys are doing. You guys are working flat out, 16, 18 hours a day. I see you in the morning when I wake up. I see you in the evening when I try to go to bed. So, this is just the first of a lot of these projects that we're going to run through. And the quality is so high. It's ultra bullish to be able to be here, to participate, just join the stream and get into a project, because this is where it is happening, right? So get in and get in early.
Yeah. I think, I feel like I stole the stream. I'm obviously so bullish on all these ICM coins. So if anybody lets me shill, I shill. I think one of the things that I loved about creating an on-chain incubator is I could shill tickers all day and nobody's upset about it. You know what I mean? Versus like if you're like an off-chain VC, you have to be like, go through a legal team to see what you could tweet or not tweet out. You know what I mean? And I think for me, I really want to lean into this. Listen, if Coinbase is funding an on-chain asset tokenization platform, I can show a ticker in 2025. Is how I feel. And I think like that's a beautiful thing that I really want to get to. Shout out Paul Atkins from the SEC. We've come a long way from 2022, where I was working in Animoca subsidiary department section, and I'm seeing a Wells notice go out to the team, like a long way away from that, and I'm so incredibly bullish that we're at this stage where like a proper team in the U.S. government. And if anybody doesn't know, the U.S. government is the most litigious capital formation country in the entire world, where capital moves fast if it can move legally. You know what I mean? But it can't move fast if it can't move legally. So the fact that like our own government's created this legal framework, it creates room for teams like Polycule to innovate fast, have that Uberization effect where they come in, they break down pillars that exist, supply new pillars that fortitude the economy, and the new fortitude pillar is just so powerful that the existing system can't remove it. You know what I mean? It's too big to move out of the way. And I really see that right now with the ICM ecosystem. I see that with Polycule breaking rules, putting new pillars up, that by the time that if a new team, new term comes in that's super bearish on this, the pillars just can't be removed. Do you know what I mean? Uber had that effect with like breaking the taxi system, and I don't want to compare ICM to Uber, but I think just from like a litigious angle, like they came in, broke rules, put new pillars up. By the time that they wanted to pull the pillar out, it was already fortituding the economy that they couldn't. They literally couldn't remove the pillar, and that's how I feel a lot about ICM at the moment. That a lot of people are going to come in, break a lot of rules, put new pillars up. Not every pillar will last, but a few smart teams will. And I'm really bullish on teams that are like PCULE that are doing this. And shout out MCG team, still the #1 stream for ICM.
Thanks, guys. We pulled this together. I literally got added to the group like 10 minutes before, not gonna lie, and had zero contacts. So we pulled it together, and Dom's internet glitched out, but we made it happen, and that's what's important. So,
yeah,
you guys.
Oh, that was great, and thanks for hosting. And well, you know me, I'm always tuned in.
Yeah, no, appreciate you, Kitty. Cool, guys. Well, let me know. Like, I can keep this open, or if you want to end this here, and we'll get to work on clipping after. So.
Oh yeah, Sander, when we doing the Killer Whale streaming side of things? When's that all happening?
Yeah, when are we? I was actually gonna ask. I see season 2 is in
All
the
right, I'm gonna
background.
guys. Take care.
Yeah, guys, we're going to kick it off in about 10 days from now. So that's when you can expect the first episodes go out. It's going to be on X, and it's going to be on YouTube. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that we also need to think about the streaming format. So let's see what we can do there.
I am happy to have a conversation with you. So if you want to chat about streaming, happy to share how we do this and why it's important, et cetera, which I'm sure you already know. But yeah.
100%.
That's true. I'll catch you guys in the TG. Appreciate you guys.
Yep. See you guys.